disaster from top to bottom. So, game plan, coaching, execution, everything about that was unprecedented. How the Bears survived, we'll talk about that tonight. And then finally, the Chicago are just one step away from making the WNBA Finals. All that and more coming up. Buckle up, let's have some fun. And once again, welcome on in to Chi-Town Weekly. Thank you so much for hanging out here with us tonight. I am your host, Adam Karnick. It's been an interesting week to say the least for the Bears. Obviously, I've had a few extra days to have to stew on this and get ready for the show. I hope that I don't come off as too crazy with the way I talk about the Bears tonight. Before we get all into that, though, we do need to acknowledge our sponsors, of course, starting off with the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The Warriors won this past week over the Las Vegas Saints 26-12, so congratulations to them. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram Southern California _Warriors, or find them on Facebook by searching Southern California Warriors. And Background Check International Business. Are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes, such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. You can go to their website, bcint.com, or find them on Facebook by searching Background Check International-BCI. And IE Sports Radio is available on all of the major social platforms. You find us on Twitter and Instagram by searching at IE Sports Radio. Facebook, just search IE Sports Radio, or go to our website, iesportsradio.com. This show, as always, is available to you on Twitter as well at IESRC. And then if you like, you can also follow along with my personal Twitter feed. That is at Adam_Karnick. All right, so a ton to get to on tonight's show, starting with the absolute dumpster fire that was the Bears game in Cleveland over the weekend. Justin Fields making his first start. You know that I was excited for that. I was amped up for that. I was ready to go. I wanted to see something new. I wanted to see something fresh. I wanted to see what the future of the Bears might look like. And instead of all that, we all got treated to the same thing as if it was Andy Dalton out there playing quarterback. No movement in the pocket, no rollouts, no bootlegs, no simplification of the process. We we kept hearing throughout the week that, oh man, Justin Fields is doing things that are surprising us. We didn't realize that he's as ready as he is. Yet they decided to throw at him the playbook as if he were a 4 or 5 or 6 year veteran. Yes, he was not ready for that game plan. There's not a rookie quarterback alive that's ready for the full playbook. You've got to condense things down. You've got to simplify things. You've got to make it easy on the young man. And for goodness sake, take advantage of the tools he has that make him special. Roll him out of the pocket. Move him around. Give him some simpler reads. Give him a high-low read where it's all right. You've got two options. You've got a deep man and you've got an underneath man. And if the one you start looking for the deep man, and if he's not open, then you check it down to the underneath. And if he's not open, then either throw it away or use your legs and pick up some yards. We didn't see any of that. We saw 5, 7, 9-step dropbacks and 5-man protection schemes in the hopes and prayers that Jason Peters on an island would hold off Myles Garrett. And it didn't work. And Nagy continued to beat his head against the wall and just keep throwing it at him time and time and time and time again, hoping and praying that it would work. And it was just beyond frustrating, beyond irritating. I saw so many people that were speculating that could this possibly be intentional, what he was doing? Could he truly just not be so against the idea of playing Justin Fields that he wanted to sabotage him, to make him look bad, so that in a couple weeks when Andy Dalton is healthy, he can say, well, look, see, Fields isn't ready to go out there. We have to go back to Andy Dalton. I don't think that's what Nagy was doing. I can't believe that the head coach of a team would be that petty that he would intentionally make the most important guy on the team as far as the future of the franchise is concerned, look that bad and potentially damage him on purpose. That's his own job security that he's messing with at that point. So I don't believe that Nagy was trying to do this on purpose. But I do believe absolutely that Nagy can't get out of his own way. He is so devoted to his scheme, to his philosophy, whatever that might wind up being in the end. He can't possibly imagine a world where his scheme isn't perfect. That all he needs is just, if only the players would just execute it. It always, in Nagy's mind, I think it always comes down to execution. There was a very telling quote from Nagy on Monday when he was sitting down with reporters and they were going back over the game a little bit. He was asked basically what went wrong, and the first thing that that he brought up and mentioned was how there was a 3rd and 1 midway through the second quarter where Jermaine or Fetty jumped offsides and committed a false start, and that backed the team up, and that really hurt. And it was right away. It just dawned on me that he doesn't think his scheme is the problem. He doesn't think his play calling is the problem. That's why he always has to sit there and say, well, we have to go back and look at the tapes and to figure out the why. We have to go back to see, to figure out the why. He doesn't think he is the problem. He doesn't think his play calling is the problem. He doesn't think his scheme is the problem. Never mind that all he's doing out there, night in and night out, is just trying to call the touchdown play. He's constantly just, where's the touchdown play? Where's the touchdown play? Where's that one magic play that can get points right here, right now, instead of trying to build an offense? He's just constantly looking for that one silver bullet or that one magic nugget on that play sheet of his. And if only the players would just do it right, then it would work all the time. He can't see that he is the problem. I know there's starting to be speculation and rumors and rumblings that he's losing the locker room. Not only the players, but members of his own staff are starting to pull away from him and realize that he's a dead man walking. I even saw an article today that there are some who believe that Nagy could get the axe after this coming game against the Lions. I don't believe that for a second. The Bears have never fired a coach mid-season before. They haven't done it before. I don't think they'll do it now. The one way I could see that changing would be if he puts up a game plan or they get an execution like this in a few weeks against the Packers. They've got the Lions this week. They've got the Raiders next week. But then after that, in week 6 is the Packers. We know that the McCaskies, just like fans, do not like losing to the Packers. They hold that Packers game in special reverence. And if Nagy goes out and they wind up with a result like we saw against Cleveland, against the Packers, then I think we could see, I think that could be the final domino that falls, or the final straw that breaks the camel's back finally, and they decide, you know what, we've got to make a move, we've got to do something. Not only has he lost the locker room, not only has he lost the coaching staff, not only are the fans upset at him, but he made a fool of himself against the Packers, and then they would make a change. But as for the Lions game, I don't think that a performance like what happened this past weekend would get him fired for the Lions. And also, I don't think they're going to get a performance like that against the Lions. I think the Lions are a bad enough team that the Bears can have more success, even though Nagy's still doing his ridiculous games of, oh, well, we're going to wait to see who's actually going to start at quarterback. Man, the Lions don't care. You just proved to everybody that it doesn't matter who the starting quarterback is. You're running the same plays regardless. So the Lions don't need to worry about who's starting at quarterback. You're running the same bad plays, bad play calling, regardless if it's magically Andy Dalton, most likely Justin Fields, or possibly Nick Foles. It doesn't matter. The game plan looks the exact same. The execution will be the exact same. Fortunately, the Lions aren't very good, so the Bears could potentially have some success in this one this week. I do think that this is, gear up, steel yourselves, whatever you have to do. I think the game this weekend is going to be one of those games that tries to set football back 25 or 30 years with the way it's played. I think you're looking at best field goals between both teams, and at most 2 touchdowns scored, one on each side. You're talking, this is going to be one of those 1913 kind of games where it's just wake me when it's over kind of a performance. That wasn't the only news with the Bears today. Good evening, Marcus. By the way, I do see you there. Marcus is in the chat room. If you are listening live tonight on Spreaker and you want to join us, hop on into the chat. We can interact there and have some fun. Wednesday crew is in the house. Yes, indeed. Marcus is coming up right after me, talking about all things MMA and boxing and all those good things. Marcus, did I see that Manny Pacquiao is retiring? I thought I saw something about that. I'm sure if indeed that is true, I'm sure that's going to be something you will be talking about tonight. But that was the only news with the Bears this past week. The news broke last night and then was confirmed earlier today that the Bears did indeed buy the Arlington International Racecourse property out in Arlington Heights. It cost just under $200 million to get the property, but certainly the intent and the purpose there is to redevelop that property and build their own stadium. So it is the rumors that have been circulating for, my gosh, easily, really, this rumor goes back as far as 30 years ago now, that they've been looking at moving out to Arlington Heights. It looks like it's finally going to happen, that they are going to be building a stadium out there in Arlington Heights. Obviously, it's not going to happen right away. It's not like it's going to happen next season or anything like that. I know I talked about this over the summer, that at the earliest they could realistically do it, you're looking probably 2026, because their lease goes through with Soldier Field until 2033, but they could start to get out of it starting in 2026. So you're talking at least 5 years yet before they move out to the burbs. But we will see what's next. But it looks like that is going to be happening, that the Bears will be moving out of Soldier Field and into whatever they build out there in the suburbs. So that will, of course, for Chicago, that'll lead to the question of, what do you do with Soldier Field? Well, one thought that has popped up out there is it could get turned into a baseball stadium. And certainly you wouldn't be saying that the Cubs might be moving there, but maybe the White Sox will. We will take a quick break, but then when we come back, let's talk about those White Sox. They had, unlike the Bears, they had success in Cleveland this past weekend. We will take a peek in on the South Side and see what they are up to and how things might be looking now that they know they will be in the postseason. This is Adam Karnick, host of Chi-Town Weekly on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Back after this.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back and in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What is going on, everybody? This is Ben Matello, the host of the Yinza Report, right here on IE Sports Radio. I'm bringing you the latest in the Steel City, the City of Champions, from the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, as well as the college game with both Penn State and Pitt. You could join me every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, where I'll be talking about everything from the Steel City, the City of Champions, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Shores of the Puget Sound to the rushing waters of the Columbia River, stretching across the Great Cascades, and on IE Sports Radio lives the Northwest Territory Sports Show, hosted by me, Brad Buckingham. On this show, I cover all the great collegiate and professional sport teams that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, Sounders, and even the Seattle Kraken. But I can't forget all of that is good in Oregon either. I got the Trailblazers, the Oregon Ducks, the Beavers, even the Timbers, and much, much more. You can listen to the show every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, noon to 1 p.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back into Chi-Town Weekly here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. So we talked in the first segment about the Bears and all that unfortunateness that was last week. God, I just... very frustrating, to say the least, with what's gone on with the Bears. Just very frustrating. But enough of that. Let's move on. Let's talk about something that's been much better. Let's talk about the White Sox. The White Sox, they are currently up tonight. I was just peeking in on them during the break. They are up 6-0 on the Reds. And they, over the weekend, they had a good time in Cleveland. They were able to wrap up the American League Central. They were the first team in Major League Baseball to win their division. So they know they are in the postseason. They know they can avoid that entire mess that is the American League wild card situation right now. If you haven't seen it, my gosh, is it a thing out there. You've got as many as 5 teams possibly vying for the 2 wild card spots. It could be all kinds of craziness here in the next couple of days. We'll see what happens. I know the bases loaded guys are talking about that a bit over on their show right now. So when you get done with me, be sure to check them out on the replay as they break down. I'm sure they're breaking down the American League wild card situation. But the Sox, meanwhile, they don't have to worry about that. They've clinched the division. They know that they will be either the 2 or the 3 seed in the American League playoffs. They will be facing Houston. It's just a question of, will Houston be hosting game 1 or will Chicago be hosting game 1? As we kind of look at things right now in the standings there, the Sox are still 3 games back in the loss column. That's the important spot, as the Sox are down to, after tonight, just 3 games left on their schedule. They've got 3 games with Detroit left to go this weekend. So not a ton of time to make up the ground. So most likely they're going to be opening in Houston. Good news for the Sox tonight was Carlos Rodon made the start tonight. He had gotten hurt about a week and a half ago, and the fear was that he may not be ready for the postseason. And Rodon, of course, has had such an amazing year this year, just banking on himself, betting on himself, and it's paid off in a huge way for him, as he's a dark horse Cy Young candidate right now, absolutely setting himself up for a huge payday next season, and especially if he can go out and have postseason success on top of the regular season success that he's been having this year. But then the injury. You can't, obviously you're not going to make a big payday if you're not reliable at the end, if you can't be relied on at the end of the season to be there. But overall, it seems like things went well for him tonight. He went 5 innings. The game is still going on. They're in the bottom of the 8th. The Sox are up 6-0. But Rodon tonight is done. He went 5 innings. No runs, just 1 hit, 1 walk was all he, 2 walks and 4 punch outs. I saw his velocity wasn't quite up as much as we've seen it. I think Steve Stone broke that down a little bit, though, and said he was not surprised by that, to see his velocity down in the low 90s, more like 91, 92, 93, instead of the 98, 99, 100 we've been seeing him at in weeks past when he's been at his peak this season. But overall, very encouraging tonight to see that from Rodon. Go 5 innings. Get the job done. Whether the velocity was there or not, he was having success against the Reds batters. And then Michael Kopech came in. He's pitched the last 3 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, no runs, just 2 walks, 3 punch outs. So Kopech is pitching well again as well. So this team hopefully shaping up for a good, prepping for a good postseason run overall. So that kind of begs the question now: how do you set, if you're Tony La Russa, how do you set your rotation now for the postseason? Obviously, if Rodon's healthy, he's obviously in. I feel like the guy that they're going to throw out there game 1 in Houston, I feel like is still going to be Lance Lynn. Even with Rodon being healthy, I feel like Lance Lynn, more of a veteran guy, somebody that's going to be here long term, has become such a leader on that team with his play and with his talk, that I feel like he should be the guy to get the ball game 1 for the Sox in what's most likely going to be in Houston. The moment won't be too big for him. Help him kind of settle into a rhythm. Help the team settle in a little bit. But then I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Rodon be the second guy out. The second guy out in the rotation to take the ball game 2. Then you get to game 3 a little bit, and think, past those 2, things then get a little interesting. Dallas Keuchel has been better as of late, but he still hasn't been great overall this season, and I'd be worried about using him, about guaranteeing him a spot in the rotation. I feel like Dylan Cease has kind of supplanted him in that role a little bit. So to use him, so I'd still be okay with Dallas Keuchel being out of the postseason rotation. Keep him on the roster, maybe, especially because of the performances he's had lately. But I still don't know that. Boy, he's been getting hit, and he's been getting hit hard this season. I don't like that idea of throwing him out, of guaranteeing him a spot in the rotation. So I think you'd go Giolito game 3, and then Dylan Cease would be your 4. And the beauty of the 5-game series that would be, the series against Houston, is you could only go with 3 starters if you really wanted to. The way it lines up, the way the days kind of line up and work out, you could just flip it around and go with Lynn and then go with Rodon if you wanted to, and could make it work that way. So I think overall, though, even though Keuchel has been better the past couple of weeks, his numbers have improved, I still feel like that you keep him out of the rotation. Maybe you'll keep a roster spot open for him. He is still that cagey, crafty veteran, and there's always a spot in a playoff roster for a guy like that. But kind of a break glass in case of emergency kind of a player at this point, instead of we know we can rely on him to go out there and throw 5, 6, 7, 8 innings for us. The other news from earlier today with the White Sox was that Tim Anderson has been suspended. He was part of the crazy brawl and the brouhaha in Detroit on Monday. They had their makeup game against the Tigers, and things got heated. Jose Abreu got hit by a pitch. He took exception to that, took a hard slide into second. The Tigers took exception into that. Benches clear, brawl ensues. No punches were thrown, but words were spoken, all that fun stuff that we see all the time in baseball. Anderson is getting suspended because he bumped one of the umpires, Tim Timmons. Okay, I suppose. Yes, you can't mess with the umpires. The umpires do need special protection, because at the end of the day, the players are way bigger and stronger and faster than them. But okay, Anderson's appealing the suspension. He posted on Twitter earlier today that I call BS. So we know how he feels about this whole situation. He has appealed. Even if the appeal doesn't go through, he was able to play tonight due to his appealing of the suspension. Let's see, how has he done tonight being out there in the lineup? He's gone. We're heading into the ninth now in the game. Oh, he just hit a home run. He hit a home run in the seventh. So he's been having a good. That's his one hit on the night, as he hit a solo home run in the seventh. So making the most of it. Even if it takes him a few days and you get into this weekend, the final 3 games, before MLB comes down with a ruling on his appeal, this will not affect his postseason availability at all, even if it is Saturday or Sunday before they ultimately rule on it. There's no way that this will affect his postseason. They might even just carry it on into the beginning of next season. So not anything necessarily to fret about or worry about if you're a White Sox fan. Tim Anderson will be there. He will be present in the postseason for the White Sox. The Sox are not the only playoff team right now in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Sky. I talked about them last week. We gave a little bit of a teaser as they were getting started in the playoffs. Well, not only have they started the WNBA playoffs, they have been roaring through the WNBA playoffs, making history while they're at it. We will talk about the Sky and the WNBA coming up here in just a bit. This is Chi-Town Weekly on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. One more break, and then we'll wrap this up.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' to NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Harrison Glazer, and we're coming at you from the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. I cover the Jets, the Islanders, the Nets, and the Yankees.
This is Pierre Moss, and I cover the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants.
Our show is live every Wednesday through Spreaker and a bunch of other ways to get our content. Again, we're the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. We talk about all those New York sports. It's a lot of fun. We get into all of it. Please tune in. Again, that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
And we look forward to having you guys right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college in the CCCAA and in the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS. Well, then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Chi-Town Weekly here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And once again, if you are at all a fan of boxing or MMA or any of those full contact ring sports, be sure to check out Marcus Los Great and Gloves Off coming up right after us tonight. All right, we've got one more segment here to do, but before we do that, we do want to give one more shout out to our sponsors, starting with the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's paying to get filmed, to get out to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you have been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California_Warriors, or Facebook searching Southern California Warriors. And Background Check International Business. Are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes, such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. Go to their website, bcint.com, or find them on Facebook, Background Check International-BCI. So we talked in the last segment about the White Sox getting ready for the playoffs. The Chicago Sky already are ready for the playoffs. They are neck deep in it, and they are rocking. The Sky have made it all the way from the first round through to the semi-final round, where they are taking on the top-seeded Connecticut Sun in a best-of-5 series. The Sky took Game 1 last night in double overtime, 101-95. The star of the game, unquestionably, was Courtney Vandersloot. The veteran point guard had just the second postseason triple-double in WNBA history. 12 points, 18 assists, and 10 rebounds. The 18 assists were not only a career high for Vandersloot, they were a WNBA postseason record as well. The Sky last night, as they have done all season long, were very balanced in their scoring. Candace Parker led them with 22 points, but she was not the only one in double digits. You had Quigley with 19 points. Vandersloot, I mentioned, had 12, and Kalia Copper also had 13 points as well. And then plenty of bench points coming off as well. Diamond DeShields with 9. points coming off the bench. In fact, everybody that came in off the bench all contributed 9 points. That's what's made the Sky good all season, has been their balance that has continued here in the postseason. And Vandersloot in particular has had an outstanding postseason. Of course, the game she had last night, but she also in their second round game in Minnesota was the leader there as well. 19 points to lead the Sky. She has really taken off this postseason. I mean, the story for the Sky, of course, is always going to start with Candace Parker because she's the big name. She was the huge free agent acquisition this offseason. She is definitely the leader on the team. But, and she has been quick to point this out too, that the other gals on the team have all stepped up as well, and it is by no means a one-woman show out there for the Sky. Courtney Vandersloot has definitely taken advantage of the opportunities she's had offered to her this season and this postseason, leading the team. They are now they're just 2 wins away now from making it to just their second ever WNBA Finals, and if they were to win that, it would be their first ever championship. I would say that that's why they brought Candace Parker in. First season so far, job well done. Obviously the regular season didn't quite go the way that they hoped. They had some health issues. Parker missed, just about everybody missed some games at some point during the season. Candace Parker missed a significant amount of time. You had Copper miss some time. DeShields missed some time. But now they're all healthy. They're all working together. They're all figuring it out. This is a strong team. Connecticut's a strong team as well. For those that may not be familiar, Connecticut actually has the reigning, and I mean reigning. She was given the award before the game last night. The reigning WNBA MVP, most valuable player. I want to make sure I get her first name right, so I'm just making sure I pop it up here. Jonquel Jones, forward for the Sun. So it's not like the Sun are without talent themselves. They're the number 1 team in the WNBA. They went on a tear to end the regular season, winning 14 games to end this to close out the regular season. They are by no means a slouch opponent. But Chicago is proving, at least through one game, up to the task. I wasn't able to watch the entirety of the game last night. For those that don't know, I have also started hosting the Neutral Zone, our hockey show here on IE Sports Radio with a friend of mine, Zach Populus, and we go on Tuesday nights, actually the same time, just on Tuesday. And so we were doing that last night as the game was wrapping up. But I noticed when I was able to watch some of the earlier in the game, I was able to watch some of the third and fourth quarter. Chicago absolutely is hanging with them, was hanging with Connecticut last night. They by no means, Chicago's the 6th seed, and deservedly so. They finished 500. They had to fight their way into the playoffs. They had to fight their way to get here, but by no means are they a slouch in this series. By no means are they a pushover in these playoffs and in this series with Connecticut. Game 2 is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Yes, I know, that's when Thursday night football is going on. You don't need to watch the Thursday night game tomorrow. It involves the Jaguars. Do yourself a favor. Don't watch the football game. Check out the Sky. It will, if nothing, even if all it does is whet your appetite for the Bulls starting here in a couple of weeks, I think you will appreciate the product that you see out there on the court. And there's the very distinct possibility they're going to be playing for a championship here in the next few days. Just a couple other things before we wrap up here tonight. We'll take one last quick peek over at the White Sox. What's happening over there on the south side? It looks as we get here. It looks like they may have wrapped things up over there to the south side. They did indeed. 6-1. The final. Carlos Rodon gets the win. Sonny Gray took the loss. The ninth, there was a run given up in the ninth inning by who gave that up for the Sox. Looks like it officially got charged. It officially got charged to Mike Wright Jr. But suffice to say, the big guns were out of the game by that point for the Sox. So good job for them overall. They now get tomorrow off, and they get to play three more games against the Tigers before they wrap up their regular season and get ready for the postseason. Also tonight, the Blackhawks reopened United Center, hosting the Red Wings, getting some preseason action going on. They've got about 5.5 minutes left to go in the third. The Hawks are currently up 3-2 in that one. Hockey is right around the corner. I am excited to watch the Hawks coming up here. All